Hey guys, the name's James and I play games, and today, well, we're not playing games, we're doing another episode of James's Journal. And, yes, this is just carrying on from part one, which you saw, which was the character creation session. And now we have our characters. So, character number one is Jax, the politician. He's caring, egotistical, and impatient. And his place in the city street setting is at the top of the town hall. Character 2, Reich, is lackluster, ecstatic, and aggressive, and his place in the city street setting is on top of the town hall. Then we have Joseph Clement, the banker. Cruel, egotistical, and paranoid. His place in the city street is in the middle of the crowded street. So, Jax, the politician, we see his caring side in paragraph 4, sentence 4. We see his egotistical side in paragraph 7, sentence 6, and his impatient side in paragraph 4, sentence 1. You get that system. So that's what those numbers mean. And his place is on top of the town hall. So this is the piece itself. As you can see, all the highlighted bits are they correspond with these points. So if we go to 4-4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you can see Jax genuinely does care. So that's the caring. And then if you go to 7-6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Jax is egotistical and wants this political stunt to be done right, despite the fact that he's impatient. So each of the highlighted bits corresponds, and they're the places in which the characteristics are pointed out, so to speak. So yeah, I think that's enough of an example. You get how that works. The highlighting is more for myself so that I know where it is, but yeah, there we go. And his place is in the setting is on top of the town hall. So as you'll hear when I do the reading, he's on top of the town hall. He starts on top of the town hall. That's where we first see him, and he's beside the revolution leader Reich. And Reich's giving his speech, and Jax is there to support him. There we have Reich, and he's got a lot of lackluster stuff right next to each other. So rather than put 7-1, 7-2, 7-3, it's just 7-1-2-3. He has all his characteristics displayed, more so than all the other characters. Why? Because he is the main character. The story is told from the perspective of Reich. Well, third perspective, but Reich is the focus. Reich strode purposefully down the crowded street, but he was not the norm. So, yeah, it was, as far as he could tell, more than So it's told from Reich's point of view. Third Reich point of view. I'm not entirely sure what that's called. I do know it, but I'm after forgetting it. There's a name for it, a specific term when you do the third person, but it's focused on one character who's like he. Anyway, whatever. So, yeah, that's Reich's place. He's the one doing the speaking. He's the leader. And then Joseph Clement, the banker, doesn't really play too much of a role, other than the fact that he's a target for this dude to give out to. And spare, that's not necessary. So, yep, there you go. There's your graphical representations of each of them. And yeah, so without further ado, let's get on with the reading. Reich strode purposefully down the crowded street, but he was not the norm. It was, as far as he could tell, one of those days where everyone merely plodded along. This was not uncommon as days went in Braxton, for you see, in Braxton everyone knew their place. The poor knew they were poor, and the rich, by God did the rich know they were rich. They never seemed to cease bragging about it, flaunting their wealth all over the place. The rich always got their way. Well, no longer. Reich had had enough. It was time the voices of the masses were heard above the near bloodthirsty bickering of barons and countesses and any with a bit of coin. Barons being the worst, of course. Reich had been struck over the head by a baron's cane because he refused to leave the man's doorstep. It had been hard won, and he needed a place to sleep. He remembered being quite literally frozen to the spot. Winter had just begun to set in, and he had nowhere else to go. Quite understandably, after such an encounter, his hatred towards barons had increased significantly. He'd been told on many an occasion that hate was too strong a word, but Reich knew what he felt, and hate fit the feeling perfectly. Reich scrambled up the conveniently placed boxes and onto the roof of the town hall. Jax was already there. Jax was a politician, or rich person negotiator, as Reich liked to call him. The man claimed he cared deeply about the poor, yet he boasted a top-quality, near-pristine coat and was the proud owner of a silver pocket watch equipped with golden chain. As of yet, the man had shown nothing besides loyalty to the cause, but Reich was sceptical and assumed he had some ulterior motive. Then again, Reich's background had instilled a certain distrust of the rich. Although not always right, Reich thought himself a good judge of character, and it worried him that he felt this way about his main sponsor. The rich so sure of themselves, and the poor so focused on their plodding and pickpocketing, nobody noticed the pair as they stood on the roof looking down at a bedraggled crowd of beggars and bloated bankers. Reich spotted Joseph Clement among them, and saw that he had both his hands firmly in his pockets. Well, if it ain't Joseph Clement, Reich scoffed as a way of greeting. Jax followed his gaze, gave a humorless chuckle, and said spitefully, Bastard. Are the boys ready? Reich asked. Yes. Then we start now. But Scribe's got the declaration, he ain't here yet. Reich sighed. I don't need the bloody piece of paper. I already know the thing off by fecking heart. He didn't, but the point still remained. Reich knew exactly what he wanted to say, and he'd make sure that that pompous prick heard him. Reich took a deep breath, filling himself with a false confidence that he only hoped he could maintain for the duration of his speech. Oi! Reich yelled. It was surprisingly ineffective. Oi! He repeated, louder this time, anger and frustration apparent in his voice. This time more than a few heads turned to look up at the loony on the roof of the town hall. Paul, my fellow common man, cease whatever it is you are now doing and come listen. A few people formed a semicircle at the base of the town hall. Others shuffled around, nervously glancing this way and that. For many years we have lived in oppression, acting upon will and whim of our masters. We have stood by and done nothing. We have let the rich get what they want, let them have everything their way. Well, no more. I am Reich, and I am here to lead you, the common people, from the dark and damp corners of this world to the light and spacious places, where everyone has a bed in which to lie and where everyone will have their share of food. I've been around for a long time, and have seen little or no change in this God-forsaken city. But that, my friends, is about to change. Here is Jax, a politician, and he's on our side. He got a few sceptical looks. My friends, I can see your scepticism, and I understand. I didn't believe it at first either. But as of yet, this man has been nothing but loyal to our cause. We now have a representative in the Guildhall to speak on our behalf. Now, as we are all fully aware, the people that run this city are full of greed and care more for money than morals. It will be hard for Jax here to persuade them to change their ways. So, as such, I need to know if you are willing to fight for your rights as people and citizens of this city. A handful of people said yes. Reich nodded 3 times for effect. Tell me then, are you ready to fight against the likes of Joseph Clement, who refuses to sell you bread despite you having the coin to pay his ridiculously high prices? Yes, the crowd roared. And are you ready to stand up to the bloody Baron and his child and woman-beating ways? Yes, they roared again. And how about hapless Harry and his royal guard? Reich said mockingly. Yes! How about him, eh? Yes! 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 They chanted. Are you ready? Yes! 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 They chanted endlessly. Are you ready for the revolution? Yes! Yes! Yeah. Look at the ruddy bastard if it ain't feckin' Joseph Clement himself! A man in the crowd yelled, loud enough to catch the attention of everyone for miles. From atop the roof it was hard to tell, but Reich saw anger etched into the faces of those closest to the town hall. It was anger in its purest form. It was raw. It was raging. Then the word came to him. It was hatred that he saw. Hatred pure and hatred raw. And as the mob surged forward, Reich heard screams and the sound of flesh being torn from bone. At least he did in his mind. It was hard to hear above the roar of the surging crowd, but Reich was certain he had heard screams. The screams of a rich banker who up until now had never really had anything to worry about. At long last the revolution had begun, and he, Reich, was their leader. Right, well, that's that, lads. So yep, that's story of Reich and his revolution. I actually forgot to change the title. Oops. Hatered. Title's Hatered. That's the title of the piece. So yeah, if you enjoyed, please do like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to see more, then yeah, I mean, like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me you want to see more in the comment section. So yeah, if you have any criticisms, if you want things to be done slightly differently, feel free to tell me. I'll do my best to implement it. But yeah, for now, that'll be it, lads, and see you next time. Peace out.